Rev up your engine. Yes, you can indeed buy a house for $5,000. Man just bought this a month ago, a Dodge Sportsman, 1977. He's planning on living in it. He paid $5,000 for it. It's a motorhome. As a matter of fact, one of my father's customers back in Lewiston, New York, bought one of these, Dickie the Postman, gas mileage that he got, and gas started to get high. He got rid of it because of this, but this is a planned home here, but a home on wheels. He drove it here from Nashville. Smells like an old Dodge. I can smell the fumes, and you can see it's only got 80,792 miles on it. The problem if you're buying a big RV, one, they can be hellacious to work on because the shells put over on top of the carriage, and they can be stinkers. But in the case of this Dodge, it's not the case, because it's got the old Dodge design. You might think, what's this lump doing here? Well, you take this lump off, and then the V8 engine is under there. It's very easy to access. I have worked on other RVs. I had to put a water pump on one once, and it was like working in a submarine. I had to lie on my back, sit upside down, and work upside down to get that water pump up. This isn't the case. As we look under the hood, and we'll look for the hood prop, it's here somewhere. There it is. It's up on the top. The previous owners was a diesel mechanic, and you can see he liked labeling this stuff. In 2018, he put a new master cylinder on. In 2017, he put a new radiator on. He even labeled the radiator hoses. In 2017, he put a new hose on it. You can see 2016, he put an alternator on it too. Now, this is a 440 cubic inch engine. If you're ever curious looking at one of these, they need big engines because they're heavy. So, just look around the stickers, and here you can see it's got the 440 heavy duty engine. Put out 252 horsepower. You might not think much these days, but back in 77, that was a lot of horsepower. To give you an idea, in the 50s, my father got a Ford V8, and that thing put out 102 horsepower, so it's got a reasonable amount of horsepower. Now, gas mileage, that's not something you even think about in one of these things. Carrying this big heavy thing with a 4-barrel carburetor, 440 cubic inch V8 engine. Okay, as I said, old Dickie, our postman in Lewiston, New York, when he was traveling in town, he was getting about 5 miles a gallon. And he said when he went on the highway, he got 7 once. So they are gas hogs. But then again, this guy is looking at this not just a mode of transportation, but as a mode of habitation. Some of it rots the wood underneath. You really don't care about that. We're going to be checking out the engine and transmission. But while we're here, we'll take a look inside, because there's a lot of room in one of these things. It's even got a screen door. Look at that. Aluminum. And the aluminum still isn't pitted. Now, interestingly enough, the air conditioning here does work. The heater part doesn't, but the air conditioning does. So, you could use it in the summer for sure. And as you can see over here, it comes with a pooch. How you doing there? It didn't come with this LG TV originally. And as you can see here, it's got a setup for your sanitation system. And back in those days, things are made of wood. It's all plastic now, but hey, pretty solid. And it's still got the magic shelf refrigerator in it. Hey, there's room in here. Look, I'm not particularly small. All kinds of room. And we go to the back. There's secret doors everywhere. There's the toilet and a shower, microwave oven, regular stove, sink. Hey, I mean, he just got the thing. He's going to be fixing it up. Now, he doesn't put lipstick on a pig. He doesn't want to tear it all apart in the inside and fix and find out the engine tranny shot. So, we're going to go through that now. See what kind of shape it's in. Now, he did warn me. The guy put a high flow muffler, so it's kind of loud. So I'll get him to start it up. And it looks like it might need a jump start. Now, this Hulkman's pretty heavy duty. Says it does up to 10 liters, so it shouldn't have any problems jumping this. As you can see, it says 57%, so let's try it now. Well, I got it going with a hammer. Turns out the starter's old. We'll go look at it. Oh, there's nothing there. This thing's been sitting for a while, so I had to hit the starter. Then it started, so it needs a new starter. You expect that sitting that long. Now, as we go under here, you can see, hey, rocker panels are still solid. It's not rusted at all. The frame, which is kind of a miracle of a bunch of giant welded parts. This thing was overbuilt to take all that weight. It's still in immaculate shape. I'm assuming it's been a Tennessee Southern car most of its life because I don't see any sign of rot back here at all. Now, yeah, the transmission, you're going to see a little bit of grease here. It's not even dripping to the ground. I mean, it's an old vehicle, right? But you can see on that side, kind of funny, there's the racing muffler on the right side, but on the left side, he's got a normal muffler. The guy who worked out's kind of been on the crazy side. I mean, he should have put either racing on both sides because of its design. It has a tremendously long drive shaft. Look at that thing. 2 giant pieces together to the rear end. And of course, it's got dually wheels in the back too, because it's a big, heavy vehicle. So although it may look a bit messed cosmetically, structurally, it's extremely sound. Frame doesn't have any rust. Pretty solid. I don't see any kind of fractures on the welds. He's ain't got one of those old-fashioned TV antennas on the top here. The original awning. Check it out. Now, he hasn't tried it yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it ripped to shreds when somebody pulled it out. But it's still there, and all the parts are here. So if the awning was bad, you could get new canvas for it if you wanted to. Of course, it's got the vents for the heaters. You know, the heater doesn't work. He doesn't know if he's going to fix that or not. And all the compartments underneath. Everything's still there. Now, this guy's not dumb, okay? Paid $5 grand for it. And he realizes, let's say I say it's a pile of junk, you can't really drive it around. He could part this thing out. People collect these things. It's got all the parts. And if somebody wanted to do that, or maybe he's just going to turn it into a domicile and park it somewhere. It's got everything in it. I mean, where can you buy a house for $5,000, which you can move wherever you want and then put it there? You know, you can't really beat that. So we're going to start it up again. We'll see if it'll start itself after we beat the starter before. Well, it's cranking. There we go. Fire in the hole. The handbrake works. That's nice and tight. Check out the plate. Dodge, Fargo, Plymouth, DeSoto. You know, this baby was made in the USA. That's the only place they made them back in '77. Solid engines, gas hogs, but let's take it for a ride, see what kind of shape it's in. Dog, she blows. It's like driving a tank. And then I go. Here we go for a spin. Unfortunately today, we're not going for any drag races. Now the exhaust manifold's got a little leak, so it's louder than normal. You can see when you take off the gas, it stops making a noise because there's less exhaust pressure. So actually, it sounds pretty good. I don't hear any bearing noises of any sort. So I really believe that's the real mileage on the thing. The bearings aren't worn. Everything sounds good. It chips pretty good. Doesn't corner all that bad. Just give it a wide berth. The brakes aren't making any outrageous noises, which is kind of surprising, seeing it's a set for a really long time. We're giving it gas now. It's starting to fly. Now, yes, it is huge, but hey, a house for $5,000 that moves down the road under its own power, not that bad of a deal. Yeah, he's going to have to put a starter in them. They're not all that expensive. He lives in Tennessee, so he doesn't have to deal with all the stupid emissions testing. Most states, even Texas, it wouldn't need emissions testing anyways. It's too old. It's a '77. A lot of them are grandfathered out anyway, so even in some northern states, you don't have to worry about it because they're often grandfathered in as an RV that's that old, 1977. Check your local laws if you're thinking about buying one, but if they don't have any emissions laws for them, you don't care. This baby was made originally to pass California exhaust emission standards. It even gives you hydrocarbon 1 gram per BHP, oxides of nitrogen 7.5 grams, carbon monoxide 25 grams. That is absolutely hilarious. If you think about it, $5 grand for a house. Hey, you got a good deal on this thing. You can live in it or travel around a little bit in it. Sure, it's old as the hills. He's gonna have to watch the tires, the brake lines. I didn't see any leaks or anything yet, but you gotta watch all the rubber stuff when they age like that, because you never know when something's gonna go out. But solid, engine solid, transmission solid. Really makes me believe that this 80,000 miles is real. Because of course it only goes to 99,999 and it goes back to zero. Now, this is when you need an old guy like me if you buy one of these old things, because you can't plug an OBD2 computer scanner in it because they don't have anything like that. So you gotta trust somebody who knows them, who's driven them. And really, he drove 85 miles an hour testing on a flat road here, and he said it was still going good. And for something this big, that 440 cubic inch engine is still doing its thing. So if you don't care about gas mileage and you're looking for a house on wheels, hey, this old 77 Dodge has still got a lot of life left in it. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.